Hello, 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 and welcome back to Monday Night Live Chat with Joe Daddy's Garage. If you haven't been here before, we talk about classic cars, try to stay focused, on classic cars. Sometimes we go off on different tangents, but for the most part, we focus on classic cars, Mustangs, Camaros, Pontiacs, Dodges, whatever. And if people have a question about, their car, we encourage it, and then we try to answer it. For me, if somebody answers, or if I can answer the question, I will. If I can't, I have people in the chat that usually can answer the question. And if they get a good answer, they get a bell. Little reward, that it was a Pavlov's dog, where you train them to the bell. But that's what it is. You get a bell for a good answer. So it's great. We've had a lot of great questions over the many months that I've been doing this now. I'm not sure exactly when I started doing the every Monday night, but it's been quite some time. So there's a lot of these live videos out there. Again, if you want to be on the stream itself, you can send me an email, and I can get you a invite so you can actually join the stream with me. So let me see who's here tonight. We have Chris Greenaway first. Joe Pendola checking in. Jeff Reynolds. It's 11:31. Maybe asleep in Barking, Essex, UK by the time. Yep. Well, try to hang in there if you are. Rick, waiting for the fun to begin. Need a stress relief from the day. Yes. Leonard, anybody up for a drive-through? Yeah, that would be great. We have our first Dave sighting. Dave Conville gets the first Dave bell. Terry Keithley. Hi, Barry. Glad you're here. You got a hi, Dave. And Grease Rookie, 9th. And a thumbs up. Wally, 68 Mustang Restoration. And I'll point this out. If you haven't yet checked out Wally's videos, you need to. You really do. I really enjoy what Wally's been doing with his projects and his convertible and the way he does his videos. I know we had talked in the past and try to do the viewers project thing and try to update different stuff, but I think he's much further ahead with him doing his videos. I think it's fantastic. And if you haven't seen his washer, for the windshield washer modification, that's a great video. And I look forward to seeing more from Wally in the near future. Crash Rider, hello from Southern Indiana. Just finished a big bowl of chili and having a dose of Joe Daddy's Garage for dessert. That sounds good. Where are we at? Grease Rookie's asking Chris about spring gobbler. I guess it maybe turkey hunting. I don't know. Nandu checking in. Rick Stevenson. Winged Warrior. That's Dave number 2, I believe. Come on, spring. Anyone want to install the wiring harness in my car? Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's a good job. Sure. Bad Harry checking in, and we'll have some updated pictures from him coming up. So we'll look forward to getting those out. Kuderlev, finally warm enough to return to the shop for Monday night, enjoying life this evening. Good. I'm glad to hear that. And it has been a really nice day here in Georgia. Almost t-shirt weather. Almost. If I was outside doing some manual labor in the yard, it would be t-shirt weather. But at this point, I still wear my long sleeve t-shirt. Clark, super sticker. Thank you, man. Appreciate that very much. Rick Gain, again, says, hi, Barry. Glad you're here. Yeah, Chris is saying probably the only thing he's interested in hunting. Talking about turkeys. Cooter, I see Iron Man. Where did you hide Robert this week? He is back in Texas, finally. I don't know if he'll be on here tonight, but he had quite the ordeal getting back to Texas. Flat tire, icy roads, combination of things. Yeah, so I'm glad. I know he's happy to be back in Texas. BK Woods says, howdy. Mr. Fireman. Awesome, man. Glad you're here. 64, Shane from Pittsburgh checking in, the first and possibly only Shane on here. Yeah, very, very possible. I'll give you a bell for that, only because, well, that's my oldest son's name. He's one of the few Shanes out there. So, DP, evening all. Glad you're here. Chris, so does anyone know where they found Cougar 1? Might want to be more specific. What are you saying? The first Cougar made? I haven't heard about that. Okay, so let's see. Wally, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, seriously, you're doing a good job, Wally. You're like you feel like a shop teacher in the way I look at it, who is really showing some great details in the process and explanation. And I enjoy those videos. Harvey checking in. That's our only Harvey, by the way. So we get a Harvey bell. Rally Cat Garage. Let's see. Okay, so their conversation with Grease Rookie. Jessica's Two-Car Garage. Glad you're here. Let's see. Jeff. Hey, Barry, haven't been here for a while, and it looks like I have lots of catching up to do. Yeah, you sure do. Okay, so Chris is and let's see here. Snow is finally melting. Yeah, that's a good sign. Bad Harry, we get 4 inches of snow today, and now it is raining. Come on, spring. Winter sucks. I agree. Winter sucks. Dave Conville, curious about your take on the Boeing incident. Maintenance issues, design issue, metal fatigue. Yeah. If you haven't seen it already, there's a 777 flying over Denver, I believe, and engine comes undone, catches fire. Pretty scary, really scary. For everybody involved and pieces falling and stuff like that. I don't know what they've found on the investigation. It could have been a variety of things. A bird strike can cause serious problems. Ingesting a bird at the right time. It could have a surge where it actually the air pressure surges through it and causes like a pulse type thing. That can be a bad thing. But yeah, pretty scary incident. And there's been incidents like that where internal components of the engine were not up to par. So obviously it's going to get somebody's attention whenever they figure it all out. Dave broke a shear pin on a snowblower this morning and then had to break out the roof rake to pull some snow off the roof. Ice dam's getting out of control with all the snow. Wow. Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun to me. No. Bob Knoll checking in from Detroit. Good evening, everyone. Big Red 67 is here. Chris, Barry, the first Cougar was found and restored. It was found in Bay of Fundy red with white vinyl top. Interesting. Okay, so that's talking. Grease Rookies and Chris are having a side conversation, so that's good. Richard, I know it's BYRNE. Is that what that is? So I don't know if that's Burn. I don't know how you say that. Beautiful day in Central Florida. Spent the afternoon making the Gaps uniform on my 66 GT. I'm happy with that. Good. Okay, so you're saying Burn. BYRNE. Burn. That makes sense. I'll go with Burn. Chris is asking, what's your favorite year of Cougar? I can't say for sure. I don't keep. I mean, the first generation, to me, is the best looking Cougar. After that, they got big and bulky. The later generations. So I would have to go with the first body. And I guess that would 67. Is that right? So the first generation, I like those. Richard says pronounced Burn. Okay, good. 64. When I get my photos organized, I may send some pics of my 65 Mustang restoration project progress. Good. That sounds great. Now, I mentioned earlier that Bad Harry he updated some pictures, and if you're not remembering or haven't followed along, I think I may have some. Maybe I have some older pictures on here. Maybe I don't. I must have deleted those because the space runs out. But Bad Harry had sent pictures before of his 67 coupe to fastback that he's building. And so here's a nice side shot of the car up on a lift. Those wheels look fantastic. Car looks great. I like that a lot. Here's another shot with the wheels, or the back wheel. Man, I really need to build one of these. I really need to build one of these fastbacks, one way or another. And there's a shot of the rear axle. I don't know what kit that is. Maybe he can let us know what kit he's using. That looks sharp. And then there's another shot. So the first shot was looking forward, and then the second shot is looking aft. And yeah, I'm liking it. And then there's one more shot, I believe. And that looks like, I mean, that's the transition tunnel where the axle sits. That must be the tooling or the fixture device that looks like it gets bolted into that curve, the wheel arch, and must support the shocks and everything. So that looks nice. That's a really, really nice looking car. One more side shot there. Yeah, you're gonna love driving that down the strip. I can already tell. Let's see. Where are we at? Caden says beautiful. Yeah. Yep. Chris should do a project video on my car, but I'm not standing in the carport for more than 20 minutes. Yeah. And Caden is saying, whose is this? That's Harry's. So Bad Harry was building that car. I'm pretty sure he was on here. I hope I didn't lose him. I thought he checked in early. Maybe I didn't. I thought I saw him on here. Yeah, he's right there. So Bad Harry. Yeah. Maybe he'll follow up and give us some more information on the car. Where are we at? Rick Winchester. That's a new name. That is a new name. 70 Mustang, 9-inch, 4-speed, 351 Windsor. What degree do you set for the differential at? I don't have a good answer for that. I know there's others that have set it up, and we could probably get a good answer for you. So there's also I did find that information online. I don't have a link to share with you right now, but I did find that particular information online, pinion angle. So I'm sure somebody else can give us some insight, but I can't just kick that number out and tell you what that is. 64.5. My 65 is still in early stages of build, so it will look like crap with new parts on it. Yeah, that's okay. Look at this car behind me. Yeah, bunch of primer and junk. Bad Harry, I built most of everything. Bought some generic pieces. And Bad Harry says, bought generic kit, measured, and built it all myself. Oh, okay. She's talking about the suspension kit. And there's the answer we're going to get from Bad Harry, talking about setting the pinion angle at 3 degrees. And he would know. He races. And so, Rick, we're going to go with 3 degrees unless somebody else has an answer, and I'm going to give Bad Harry a bell for that. So, Chris. Well, say, Bad Harry, you're saying you bought a generic kit. That sounds interesting. Chris, I found a 73 Montego with 72 clip. Why do projects come up when I'm trying to finish one? Yeah. Yep, believe me, I've been on that path for a long time. Okay, 3 degrees. You have Dr. Boom saying hello all. Dave Britton checking in. You're welcome, Rick. Rick Gain, what tools would you recommend for working on Mustangs that people may not think of? Well, there's really not, it's not very complicated when it comes down to it. Basic hand tools will take care of most everything. Now, of course, the difficulty is like spring compression tool for the, coil springs, something like that. You might want to invest in if you're going to be rebuilding the stuff. But not a lot. I mean, hand tools, hammers, of course, wrenches and screwdrivers and all that stuff. If you're just working on it. Now, if you're restoring it and doing all the, hard labor and stuff, you're going to need, drills and grinders and body separation tools, to separate spot welds and stuff like that. And that's the way I look at it. And now you can carry this into many different ways. Like if you said, if I'm going to do paint, well, you're going to need a DA sander and a longboard sander and blocks and, paint guns and all those sort of things. So just looking at it from working on it, I think you're pretty well set with basic hand tools. You should be able to do most anything to these cars with basic hand tools. And I'm going to have a drink. Hope that helps. Doug, sorry, I clicked on the wrong one. Chris, doing interior and radio, hopefully vintage air, 1400 USD though. Yeah. Yep, adds up quick. Okay, so yeah, Rick got the help he needed. Chris, seeing a Mustang Grande would be awesome. A Mustang Grande would be awesome to see. Yeah, I can't say I'm a fan of the Grandes. Just me. But I get where you're coming from. Bad area, I wanted to use front spring mount, so I just got extra long bars and cut to length. I wanted to use, the front spring mounts. Okay. So for building the 4-link setup is what you're saying. Dave, I also have a suspension design handbook. I can check if you like. It goes more into best practice for drivetrain geometry on hot rods, but best practice is best practice. So there's another answer from the Winged Warrior. If you wanted, you can look it up. Denny, 90 degrees in the shop, wood furnace cranked up. Hey, Joe Daddy, man, 90 degrees. Whew. Ooh, I don't know if I can handle 90 degrees. I'd probably be sweating in there. Okay, thumbs up for Rick. Yep. Yeah, as I was mentioning earlier with the weather and all that sort of thing, we had Robert here he's on the last 2 live streams. The Thursday previous and the Monday, he was able to join us on those, and that was great having him here. That was fun, and we actually got a good bit done in the shop. I talked about it some on Thursday, I believe. We did some modifications to my media blaster, added some lights, and then we got the AC hooked up on Jade. Now, I did post a video of us putting in the hard lines and the rubber lines and putting in R134, and then there'll be another video coming out this week of actually charging the system and cycling it and all that sort of stuff. We did learn that you get a lot of fumes in here if you have a car running for 20 minutes. I actually have a time lapse that I had set up, and I have several time lapse shots. And I thought about just putting together a sequence of time lapse stuff. I have several saved of different time lapse sequences, but I noticed watching a brief segment of the time lapse, I'd started the car to get everything cycled, and you could see eventually a cloud rolling towards the front of the car. And so we had to open some doors and run some fans. And at that time, the temperature outside was about 30 degrees, maybe somewhere around there. So it didn't help us to get the AC charged with the outside temperature coming in and cooling everything down. But it was a good time. Okay, so Rick, Dave's going to grab the book and check for you as well. Bob, after 2 months of trying to get CJ Pony to replace front calipers that were powder coated but arrived scratched and chipped. Success. Okay. Well, I guess that's a bell. Maybe 2 months. Speaking of which, I placed an order. It should be coming in. Well, I think it was supposed to be here today, but it is CJ Pony. I don't know. They had sent me a notice saying it would be here. I think they actually said it would be here yesterday. It's not here. But I ordered a new set of Mustang emblems, and also I ordered the chin spoiler. I'm a little concerned with that chin spoiler though, because I think I'm going to add it to the car. Either way, I bought the thing, but I was looking at the reviews, mixed reviews. I had a couple that said 5, fit perfect, blah blah blah, and then I had several that were like, this thing doesn't fit the car at all. They had to do a bunch of modifications to try to make it fit. So we're going to see how that goes. Hopefully it fits, the balance panel, because I think that would look pretty sharp having that little chin spoiler underneath that cutout that I made. But we'll see. It's not here yet. When's it going to get here? I don't know. We'll find out. Kuderlev, I recommend a door panel clip tool. I've tore the cardboard backing too many times using a screwdriver to get to plastic regulator rollers. Yes, that's a good idea. You're talking about working on a Mustang, the clip removal tool. And there's a variety of those out there. There's a variety of, Harbor Freight sells a kit. There's other ones. Let me grab, I think I have one that I think is ideal for what you're saying. And I've used this for years and years and years. Let's see if I have it in here still. And of course, it's not in the drawer. Oh, there it is. I don't even know where I got this one, but this is the one I use. And this gets a lot of clips out. It's like it's like a little crowbar, right? But this works great for a whole bunch of things. So yeah, clip tool. That is a good answer, Cooter. Give you a bell for that. Chris, there's a channel named Evan something. He's doing the MPD collection. There's a Black 70 Mustang, base model fastback, every option. 428, but not a Mach 1. Believe he ordered by Iacocca or Shinoda. Wow, that sounds cool. Cooter, with all the cardboard and plastic, I'm starting to think they didn't expect the Mustangs to be around very long. Nope. They were meant to be gone in about 5 years. That was usually the 5 to 6 years. And I think they expect people to trade them in or move on to another vehicle. Bad Harry bought pieces at JW Rod for triangular 4-link and Viking 2-way adjustable shock coilovers. The last picture you showed, I built that upper shock mounting using 1.5-inch square tubing. Well, let's take another look at that. Yeah, that looks nice. Now, I can't tell for sure. Are the tubes? I guess the tubes are just welded to the bottom side of that tubing. They're not in the tubing by the looks of it. Or did you make a recess, maybe a half moon type of deal, and put those mounts in there? Because I like the way that's set up. Yep. Go back to comments. Chris, all my parts have been processed in a week, shipped in a 2-week time frame. Yeah. Hey, I don't know where they're at. Bad Harry, I saw a YouTube video and a 67 Camaro chin spoiler fits a 66 Mustang. That may be true. And because I have a chin spoiler for 68 Camaro. And I held that up to the 68 Mustang. No. Not even, nowhere close. Nowhere close. So that didn't work out. Chris, although I don't have all this work on the car since mine was a perfect survivor, but it's always something. Yeah. Yeah, there's always something to do. Bad Harry, mounts welded to bottom of tubing. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't tell if you had made like a kind of a half moon to give it a little more bite, whether it needs it or not. It's a shock. But I was just considering that. I've seen that before where they've actually cut a hole and just put the tubing through and just welded the end. So you had a really rigid structure, but I think that's going to work fine. Chris, when are you going to get on basket case the Camaro? I don't know. I've got to get things out of the way. I've got to get things out of the way. You know, I've got, well, it appears, I'm pretty confident that I've sold the stray pony, 65 Mustang, and that's going to end up going to Houston, I believe. And I may be delivering that one. Make a road trip out of it. And who knows, maybe I'll make some pit stops when the weather's better. I'm not going to do it this time of year. It needs to be another month or so I have good weather. But I think I'm gonna take that car out to Texas and drop it off. And yeah, who knows? I might make if I can, might try to stop in at different places and see how that goes. But anyway, 65 is going to go away. That's going to open up a little bit of space, and then of course the 68. I've got to get it in paint. It's been too long. So the Camaro is not very high on the list at this moment. I still think that the next car, I think, if it all still is on the plan, maybe a 69 Chevelle. I think. We're seeing how that works out. But I've got to get all this. I've got to get a lot of stuff out of the way. Even the shop. I'll tell you this. Since thinking about these sort of things, and recently, I said I worked. Me and Robert worked on that blast cabinet. So if you haven't seen it, I'm talking about the Harbor Freight deal. The big Harbor Freight red cabinet. I say big. It's not that big, but we added lights to that thing, put new gloves on it. Well, it was all the way in the back of the shop, and I was all the way in the back of the shop. So I moved a bunch of things back there where I have my entrance to my paint booth. And as I check this out, okay, I find this tube in the back corner, along with 4 drive shafts that I don't even know what they're for. I have 4 drive shafts. Why? I don't know. But I find this tube and I'm like, what is this tube? And I don't even know what the shipping date was on it. I don't know if I can even see the shipping date. I don't see anything. But I'm like, what is in this tube? Well, it's a set of headliner bows. I think these are for the 55 Chevy. I think. I don't know. There's no identification on it. There's a catalog that is in here. And this catalog, I don't even know. I mean, it's some sort of a, I don't know if they just stuffed the catalog in there as a filler. But this catalog is like mobile tools. And look, it says winter 2000, 2001. So what does that tell you? That tells me I've had this thing in my garage, this thing sitting in my garage for 20 years. And I don't even know what it's for. That's kind of how things accumulate, and get in your way. And you're like, why is this here? I don't even know. But it gets better. Let me put this back in there. Because why not? What am I going to do with it? Anybody need to say headliner bows for a 55 Chevy? I think that's what they are. Anyway, so as I'm looking in that corner, I find 2 side glasses, and I think these are 72 Chevy. 67 to 72 Chevy. I think, and these were from a pair of doors that I had bought and sold the doors years ago. So what am I going to do with these? Nothing. So those got to go. And then this is a real cut. You see these pipes down here? Let me tell you. When we were racing, and we had the 65 Chevelle, and we had to get the weight right, And when you're racing, you want weight to transfer to the right rear. So when you're taking the turn, the whatever. Well, you know what these are? I'll tell you. First of all, they're heavy. This is I think it's 2.5-inch exhaust pipe, completely full of lead. It's like right now this is a lot for me just to hold this thing. Okay. So a buddy of mine who races has a muffler shop. So he gave me these sections of pipe and we backfilled them with lead. So this is probably, you can see my arm straining on this. This is probably, this one bar, I'm guessing like 70 pounds. I'm guessing maybe 80. So not only do I have one, I've got the second one and a third one. And that was probably, I mean, it's probably 30 pounds or 40 pounds. And then I have one more thing. I have this, which is just square tubing that's full of lead. And I welded flanges on it so I could bolt it into a car and I could move it around. The idea with the exhaust pipe was we had we welded. Whew, that's a workout. We welded muffler clamps onto the frame onto the. That was a workout. We welded muffler clamps onto the framework, you know, the roll cage, and then we could take that bar and we could move it to try to get the weight to help transfer it. Whew, man, I need a breath. So if anybody needs some lead, I have lead, and those were all built from old tire weights that I got. I went around to different tire shops and just said, "Hey, do you have any old lead?" And they were like, "Yeah." So I had buckets of lead, and we melted it down and packed those things full. Let me tell you, lead is plenty heavy. I wish those were full of gold. I'd be much happier. Man, okay. Let me get my strength back here. Let's see. March Indy Chris, the YouTube channel is called Revin Evan. There you go. Thank you, March. And Leonard, has the owner of Brooklyn Pony sent you any parts to you? Nope, has not. Has not. Chris Berry, you need to start selling blocks and drive shafts. Might be able to save money. Yeah. Selling blocks and drive shafts. I don't know how it would save money. Jessica, oh joy, or the joy of mystery parts. Yeah. I mean, why? What am I doing with it? Dave, engine crankshafts and training output shaft must be parallel with the pinion shaft. The goal is to produce an angle through U-joints of 3 degrees or less. So that was in the conversation of asking what the pinion angle needs to be. So the goal is to produce an angle through U-joints of 3 degrees or less. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Wally did not know I was going to be at a gun show. DP, time to build a sailboat. Barry, you've got the lead keel. Yeah. I don't have any use for it. I don't know if I'd want a sailboat. That sounds expensive. Chris, lead shot trick. You dirty NASCAR inspired aficionado. Yeah. Lead shot. That would work too. Dave, the front rear U-joint angles are to be the same to cancel out elliptical motion. Thank you for that. Dave Britton's laughing at Wally. Bob Knoll. Barry, how long have you been doing restorations? That's a good question. I don't know that I was really doing like full-on restorations, but I've always been working on, cars. Always. Old cars and stuff, from being at my dad's junkyard and just being around them. I've learned so much, and I would just work on anything. And then as it went forward and became, we started doing the body shop stuff prior to 2005. I was doing work here on cars, and then my buddy was painting them. And so it was kind of a tag team effort. And then we started the body shop. And that was around, we were doing that in 2003, but I started, I was doing stuff prior to that. So it's been over 20 years for like restoration as far as in here. But once we got the body shop going and became more full on, that was more serious. And now, of course, that's really all I want to do. Kuderlev, those weights didn't seem so heavy when you were in your 30s. Yeah, I agree with that. Bob Nolan, how long did you race? Well, I raced back in Pennsylvania for 2 years, and then we raced here in Georgia for about 2 years, and that was it. That was all I did because, and I have some footage of that. I may post some video footage of the racing. I actually have some video from a demolition derby or two that I did this back in the early 90s. But when we were racing, it was all fun until somebody tried to kill me. Just put it that way. Somebody really tried to hurt me on the track, and I raced one more. I went to one more race after that, and I decided, this isn't quite as much fun when somebody's trying to intentionally hurt you on the track. And when at that time we had 2 boys, wasn't worth it. Bob, we made our weights melting lead and pouring it in small block Chevy valve covers, then drilling holes through to bolt it onto frame. Yep, that's a good plan too. So basically, you made like a Studebaker valve cover then, because that's what Studebakers had. They had 2 bolts up on top. I think it was 2, at least 2. Chris, put that through feet Windsor in the fastback conversion. Yeah, could do that. Could do that. Trunk Monkey, we have a 69 Mustang project coming up. I will send pictures. Yeah, by all means, please do. I'll keep it okay. Let me see here real quick. Whoops. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to go back here just a second. I'm checking on email stuff. And let's see. Oh, so I have a couple more downloads. Let me get these pulled in here because I think these are going to be worth looking at. Where'd they go? Okay, there's one. Give me just a second. And let me get the other one. Okay. So the question about the pinion angle, Dave sent me a picture. Now, if this helps or not, I don't know. But you can see what it's talking about there on that page, that basically you're showing it like as a parallel line on the first angle or first upper level, and then down below, maybe that's showing it. I can't tell. It's really hard for me to see this. This is so small. So anyway, I don't know if that helps or not, but thanks for sharing it. And then Harry sent this picture. I think that was and it's so dark it's hard to tell. I think that's the one we were talking about a couple weeks ago with the louvers. I think Nick was talking about that. And I can't say that I've ever seen one of those on a car. And it's really hard to tell in that picture, sorry. But he was talking about getting one of those and maybe doing some bronze work to it or something. Chris, quality restorations have only been doing since 2000s. Anything prior, it's pretty sketchy at best. Yeah, I would agree with that. Rick, okay, right on. It seems to, however, It seems to, however, be around 2 degrees. Okay. Jessica, but remember, never run U-joints at 0 angle, i.e. never a flat drive shaft. Get a cheap angle gauge to help and set with the weight of the car on the rear end. Good point. Good point. Winged Warrior, hope that helps. I also sent Barry picture showing comments. Oh, okay. So let me double check that. I'll have to go. I see you sent me pictures of the wiring harness and the schematic and stuff. Probably hold off on posting those, I think. Okay, so Don Thompson. Don at Betsy checking in. I'm glad you're here, Don. There have been several people asking questions about your project car. If y'all haven't seen, there's 2 videos right now. The 66 Mustang, known as Betsy, that Don has shared with us. And, you know, I chopped them up because, as I said, Don, it's a lot of footage. And it's good, but it's a lot of footage. And I just, you know, I wanted people to see it and maybe have to stretch it out just to get everybody, you know, to stay focused on it. But I like the way you pointed out, you know, the fact that the things, they didn't fit good from the factory, you know. And the idea of adding in the extra bracing around the roof pillar, I thought that was a great idea. One of the questions was about your side marker lights. And they were asking for a picture of you, if you panned away from it to show that side marker light. Because in the video, it was kind of, really couldn't tell too much on where it was at, you know, relative to the body lines, stuff like that. My question to you is, what did you use for that? Is that a side marker light from like a 69 Mustang or maybe a Maverick or something? You know, I don't know what you didn't mention. I don't think you mentioned what you used for that. And I don't know, maybe if it was a something from J.C. Whitney or something. I don't know. So any input on that would be appreciated. Let's see. 64.5 Stang. When you do a cowl area Mustangs, how do you deal with the braze part on edges? Just cut it out. Yeah, you don't need to worry about that braze. You know, there's that braze was just to hold stuff in place while the car was being assembled. That's it. There's no, I mean, you can either weld that area, you know, and put it back in that way, but it's not that big a deal. Bad Harry 70 watching, only 23 thumbs up. Yeah, let's get those thumbs up going. We want to get more people on here tonight. I don't know if you saw the header, the picture that I put in on YouTube with Studebaker. So it was a 53 Studebaker, and sitting next to it was a smart car. I thought that was pretty funny. Clark, were the California Special rear spoilers steel or fiberglass? Where can you get one? They sell those as a kit. And I think they were just, fiberglass. You're talking about the deck lid and the extensions, I think is what you're referring to. That was just a kit, just a fiberglass kit. And it was I think just like the Shelby type of thing that they used. Dan, angle and drive shaft has to be somewhat equal on both ends. Okay. We'll go with that. Nick Moss. Yes, I was. See? I didn't forget about you, Nick. Jorge Highbury from New Jersey, but soon to be from Virginia. Yes. And I'm jealous. I'm jealous of where you're going. Jorge, Jorge sent me some pictures of his house and his garage and property, and I'm like, can I get the spare, can you build a spare, maybe give me a spare room or something? I would love to live there. Also, I'm here now. Thank you, Nick. Bad Harry, that louver came on my coupe. They look really nice. Okay. I had never seen one on a car before, besides somebody had sent me a picture. So now I know. Jerry Kreider, thank you very much for all the info. It gave me the guts. Cool. Glad to hear that. Chris, 351 Windsor build in the fastback conversion. with a Shelby deep blue paint, white stripes. Ooh, or red and white. Yeah, maybe. You never know. Bad Harry, if the engine is pointing down 3 degrees, then the rear depth should be the opposite, up 3 degrees. There you go. Dan saw Cobra on Jay Leno, had 260 cubic inch and 2-barrel. Still fast. Yeah. Yeah, those cars are just basically really big go-karts. I mean, it's really what it comes down to. Chris, the only area that I have a crummy gap is where the trunk meets on the back, but pretty good from the factory on my formula. That's good. That's a good thing. Don, rear Montego wagon, mid-70s, front Maverick, mid-70s. Okay. Interesting. So that's the answer to the side marker lights, which I don't know if you showed them on the front. I don't know if I saw it on the front fender, or at least not in the first 2 video segments. I mean, unless I missed it. So a Montego wagon from the mid-70s is where you got the rear side markers, and a Maverick from the mid-70s in the front. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Rick, I had to bug out for Ted to make some popcorn. Oh, well, that's good. Popcorn's always good. Paul, I noticed that all these recipe and cooking YouTube channels have millions of viewers. Maybe you should do some barbecuing while talking about cars. That's not a bad idea. The most I can do at this point, the closest I can get is here's my cooking. I'll tell you about these. If you haven't had these, you're missing out. Don't tell my wife. Okay? If you have not had these, Hostess, caramel or caramel ding dongs. These are the bomb. These are my go-to whenever I'm feeling kind of down, you know. I need something to brighten my day. Yeah. There's my cooking. It's not a bad idea, though. Chris, do you think NASCAR will ever come back? No. Nope. Not NASCAR. They have this thing now, whatever they call it, the pit stop challenge or something, where they race a few hundred laps, come back in, stop, and have a break or something. I don't know. They do some sort of break and play some pinochle. I don't know, cards. Then they go out and race for a little while more. Then they come in and take a break. I don't know. It's like they have to. They're tired or something. You know, they got to. Maybe OSHA got involved and they have to take a break every so often. Get some coffee or something like that. But not the old NASCAR. No. Hope you made enough for everyone, Rick. Dave says, "Yep, come on over." Nick, doesn't your wife watch? I mean, no. She's listened to me talk for 30 years. 32 years. 32. 30. What year is this? Yeah, she's listened to me talk for 32 years now. And if I start talking about cars, she's just she just tunes out. So, Jessica, I didn't know there would be so many. I didn't know there'd be so many. Bang. So many? What are we talking about? Nick, those ding dongs are gone now, buddy. Yeah. I try to keep some in here just in case. Just in case. Clark, stock car racing was better when they raced actual cars. I agree. Yeah, now it's just like spec racing. Meh. 64, no substitute for original Hostess Ho-Hos. Yeah, they're pretty good too. Don Thompson, Betsy, the panel curves were close enough. I get you. Yeah, my mind was thinking, at first glance, maybe they were 69, Mustang side marker lights. That would be my go-to thought. 69 Mustang, because it's still a Mustang, similar shape. So, so Jessica, NASCAR is a bad joke now. Sad, yeah. I agree. It's just you're watching advertising, now. And just, I don't even know who half the people are. I saw, who was it? There was somebody racing. I did watch a highlight of the wrecks from Daytona or something. And I forget who was it. There's a guy out there who's 62, and he was out there racing. And I think it was more like, hey, we don't have enough people to fill the field. Why don't you come out and run your car, please? We need to have more people out here. So I don't even know who the people are anymore. Rick, NASCAR, the one with the most money wins. Yes, pretty much. Chris, should I buy a new plastic nose cone and spoiler, even though mine are in great shape? I would keep what you got. Because I don't know if the new ones, if they're actually new or are they original. I don't know if they're even available. 32 years, you're a lucky man. Yeah, I guess so. Well, she's put up with me for 32 years. Put it that way. In fact, our wedding anniversary is this coming up in May. It'll be 30 years of actual, wedded bliss. Chris, I'm just saying our car hobby peaked when NASCAR peaked. Yeah. Yep. Bob, wives think that we are talking another language when we talk car language. Yeah. Yeah. And when I start talking cars, she just, I think a little switch goes off and she just doesn't care. Dave, I watched a bunch of muscle car and Corvette fails today. All the hours of my car fixing. Need to make sure I keep it nice this summer when done in high school. Not always so smart choices. Yeah. Oh, when done. Yeah. I need to make sure I keep it nice this summer when done. Yes. In high school, not always so smart choices. Yeah. Yes. Nick, I literally haven't watched since Earnhardt crashed. That started the decline, in my opinion, unfortunately. I'm with you 110%. I will say, and I mentioned this before, that I used to do security at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And it was more of a charity thing. I would do act as a security person, whatever, and the money that I would have made went to a charity. So I basically got to watch the race for free and try to keep people out of the certain areas. So, I got to meet some NASCAR drivers and stuff over the years. And I was there when Kevin Harvick won, the Atlanta race after Earnhardt had died. And I was like, to me, that was kind of like the last time that I really was interested in watching. But yeah, I was there. It's gone downhill ever since. Kenny Schrader, if I remember, he's salary guy, so unfortunately he can't walk away. Yeah, I don't know I remember. Kenny's been around a long time, but I don't know if that was who was there on. That wasn't who they were talking about at this race. It was somebody else. You don't live anymore. If there's no dirt in your beer, you are not at a real race. Yeah, there it was. Bob Knoll, Derek Cope, 62 years old, won Daytona in 91, I think. Yeah, he beat Earnhardt in 91. Derek Cope, 62. I don't even know if he's actually seriously racing or not. Or if he's just, hey, come on out, Derek. Bring one of your old cars, or we'll give you a car. We'll even paint it up to look, just go out there and turn some laps. We just need somebody to fill the backfield, right? 64, I'm also 32 years into the sentence. Hey, I will say this. My wife puts up with all this stuff. She doesn't know what's in here from day one to day two. I talk about, I'm going to paint this car. I'm going to do that. She's like, where did that one come from? Well, I said, that's one I've had for 3 years. Oh, where was it at? It was in the house garage. What? She doesn't know anything about what's going on for my car stuff. Nick, man, first and last time I was at the dirt race when I ate a hot dog and it was crunchy. Not for me. Give me drag racing, top fuel. Okay, I'm not against that. Always love the smell of racing fuel. Yes. Yeah, I do miss that. And I haven't been since I've basically since I quit racing. I don't think I've been, other than NASCAR stuff, I don't think I've been to a regular dirt track race, because that's what I did. I raced dirt track. Yeah, I don't think I've been to a dirt track race because I don't want to get, I'm afraid I'll get the itch again, because I love doing it, but I just can't justify it, especially now. Marshall got to 347 and six-speed made it up and installed yesterday with a lot of help. Aligning the bell housing is a real pain. Got a lot more work to do, but can't wait to take it for its maiden voyage. That sounds good. Let me know when you're going to have that maiden voyage. Maybe I'll have to come up there and be part of that. Jessica, 91, last race for Buick, I think. Yeah, I believe that sounds accurate. Or Pontiac. Yeah, one of the two or both. I don't remember for sure. I think that was when it was still fun. You know, it had Pontiac and Buick and, of course, you know, Ford and Chevy, but you didn't. And I think, I don't even know if there was a time when I don't even know if there was any Dodges out there for a period of time. Nick, she won't keep putting up with it if you don't give her a caramel ding dong. I can't let her know they're out here. I can't take that chance. That woman will find my chocolate. Or, okay, Pontiac. Chris, I hope to find someone willing to do projects with me, not against me. Yeah, that's a good goal. That's a good goal. Cooter, unfortunately, all motorsports and the classic car hobby is pricing the average Joe out. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying there. Okay. So those pictures, Dawn, I may share those with if the person who asked me about these, he was looking, if you can, I mean, I'm thank you for those pictures, but if you can, maybe do one away from the vehicle a bit more so they can see where it's at on the quarter. You know, just help out. I think people are going to like that. Yep. So I forget who it was. They were asking on one of the videos, and I said, you know, if he sends me some on email, I can forward them, so we can go from there. Rick, sausage sandwiches at Englishtown Raceway Park in New Jersey smelled much better than they tasted. Probably so. Yeah, I can't argue that. Bad Harry, love my drag racing. I'm scheduled to race in 20 races this year. That sounds awesome. Let me know if you're coming down to Atlanta. If they're still racing, I think in Commerce. Maybe I'll make a trip up there if you're up there. We'll find out. Fast and Furious, did you like my idea on the front bumper? I left a comment on the front balance video. I believe if you commented about making the shape of the bumper constant, yeah, I did like that idea. And I think that's what the comment was, if I remember right. Yeah, I think that's what I remember you talking. Somebody had mentioned that about, because there's a little cutout around where the license plate is, and I'm thinking honestly that to me it almost blends it together somewhat when it's going to be fully assembled. And the cutout I made for the balance, because I didn't even consider whenever I made my measurements, I did not have the bumper on the car, so I didn't even think about where that little notch is. It just so happens that it kind of helps it create that shape. So I do like the idea, though. I just don't have I can weld stuff up, but I don't have anywhere to take stuff to get it chrome. So Dave Conville, Pontiac was still running up till GM scrapped Pontiac about 2006. That seems like not that long ago, right? 15 years. Yeah. Chris, same with NHRA. It's for the big guy now. Unfortunately, they're reopening the AHRA, though. Well, that sounds good. Hope that works out. Dave, Mopar was absent from about 74 till Evernham brought them back in 02? Question mark? I don't know. That sounds possible, though. What were they running, though? Avengers? I don't even know what they were running. What did they have for a car body in 02? Not that it really matters. So Chris is asking, Bad Harry, are you in Grand Bend Motor Speedway? Jessica, you just have to keep the mindset that you're out racing for fun, not to win. Helps if you help the beginners out. Gives you warm feeling at the end of the day. Yeah. Well, I mean, I enjoyed it. You know, Roger and I, we did enjoy racing. I can say that. Up until somebody tried to kill me. Then it wasn't so fun anymore. Dawn, the pic from Crater Lake last stream showed the side marker from a distance. Okay. Let me see if I have that on here still. So I may have deleted that one because my little queue on the side was packed. Oh, there it is. Okay. There you go. So there's a picture of the side marker lights on, you know, and I didn't even notice those until I look at the picture and I see the brightness of, I don't know, the flash or the sun making them pop out. No, that's not bad. That's not bad. Just something you never see on a 65 or 6, that's for sure. Thank you for that, Don. Get back up here. Fast and Furious. Yeah, yep, it looks good either way. Yeah, talking about the bumper. Bad Harry, not sure if US border is going to open. That would be, yeah. They got to catch you first, right? 64. I raced amateur class at Keystone Raceway in Pennsylvania back in the 80s. Ran low teens. It was fun, but pricey. Yeah, it all adds up. Jessica saying they ran the Dodge Intrepid. Yeah. Yeah, and Nick says that as well. Yeah, they were, Intrepids were not really impressive cars. Bad Harry, most races at Toronto Motorsports Park, Luskville, and iCar tracks. Okay. So Marshall saying, was it the Intrepid as well? I think it was the Intrepid. Dave, yes, running Avengers. I think it was about 02. Well, maybe it was Avengers. I don't know. Somebody has to look that up. I don't have time. Let's see. Okay, so Nick. That's what Sterling Warren was driving in that 01 race with Earnhardt. Oh, he was. So, Dawn, really nice job on the 66. Thanks for sharing in such detail. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I have these other two pictures. Okay, so there's another shot of that I got for that rear taillight louver. Let me see what I can. I'll go ahead and pull these pictures anyway. The Dawn and Scent. If I can make everything work correctly. Where's it at? There it is. It's weird. Sometimes the pictures show up as a full picture, and sometimes it shows up as a small thing, and I can easily click on it. And then other times it doesn't work at all. So just one of those things. All right. So let me see. Dawn sent me 3 pictures. And Bad Harry sent me another one of the tail panel piece. You know, I hadn't even thought about that. I mean, I don't know why. I've never seen one of those before. Maybe it just wasn't, you know, I don't know if that was how that was ordered. Was that like a dealer option on the on this tail panel? Let me show you this. So if you can see that, it has louvers that run all the way across, kind of like louvers or raised pieces. I guess I've never seen that. And I don't know why I've never seen that. Unless, like I said, was it special order? Any insight would be helpful. And I'm going to show you these other pictures too. Dawn sent these. This is the, I'm guessing, is that the rear side marker? And that was out of that Montego wagon. And this is, I believe, the front. And that was out of a Maverick. And that makes sense, actually. The Maverick kind of makes sense. And then here's a shot from inside. So, yep. That's helpful. Again, thank you, Don. Appreciate that. Let me get back here to my comments. They're kind of bouncing around. Where we at? Where we at? Okay. Chris saying, "Hey man, what do you believe is the best aero car? The best aerodynamic car?" Well, I hate to say it. I think the best aerodynamic car is probably like the Prius. You know, as far as production type vehicles. They also had the Honda had something called the Insight. I think it was called the Insight. Had like covers that went over the wheels and stuff. I think those are probably the most aerodynamic. Not the best, most appealing car, but that may not answer the question you're looking for, but that's just what I think. Brian, does anyone know what year the Ford Windsor switched to roller cam and how the blocks may be different? Good question. So, does anybody know what year Ford went to the roller cam? Brian needs to know. Arthur Woodward checking in. Glad you're here. Nick is saying 86 is what he believes for the roller cam question. Dave, I stand corrected. Intrepid from 01 to 04, then Chargers till 07. Well, that makes sense. 01 to 04 Intrepid. Ugh. Chris, did you know if you order the 69 spoilers, you can get the 428, but the spoiler, wait a minute, what? The 69 spoilers, you can get the 428, but the spoilers with the nose came as it was through V1 Windsor automatic. Okay. Did not know that. Brett Saxa. Do you plan to attend the Mustang Club of America's 45th anniversary event at Road Atlanta in April? I don't know. I didn't even know they had one. I don't keep up with like clubs and stuff. I don't know. That maybe if I get Jade done, I can take Jade up there, right? That could be a goal. That would be nice. Nick, they just have this spider hold down tapped holes. Talking about that panel? Spider hold down? Spider? Tapped holes. Okay. Don Thompson, Roller Windsor, 1985 carburetor. Thank you, Don. Arthur, that NAFTA market insert that you can buy, they put in the back of your car. What? Oh, that's an aftermarket. Okay, not NAFTA. That's North American Free Trade Agreement, right? NAFTA? Are you doing talk to text? That's NAFTA. All right. Rick, 85 was a year for the roller cam for the 302 and the Mustang GT. Okay. Thank you, Rick. I'll give you a bell for that. Let's see. Nick. There you go. I was close. Yeah, well, you're close enough, Nick. Bob Knoll, but George Charger was the last Dodge to be running NASCAR 2012 season. Brad Keselowski almost won a championship in one. He's from Michigan. That's how I know. Yeah, I guess. I mean, so Dodge doesn't even run anymore, I guess. I don't even know. It was a Toyota, Ford, Chevy, Nissan. I don't even know who's out there. I couldn't tell you. Brian, okay, thanks, gentlemen. You're welcome. Dave, and I'm also wrong about their absence during the 70s and 80s. They returned in 78 to 85. Yeah, I think they also ran – what did they run? They didn't run the Cordoba. What was it they ran in the 78 to 85? I can't even picture what they would have run. Avenger? No, not Avenger. What was it? I don't even know. Not that it matters. Chris. Oh, you talking about the Aero Wars. Oh, not the Aero. You're talking about NASCAR when they had Aero Coupes and stuff. I think probably it depends on the time period. if you want to go back in time to the early 70s when the Superbird came out, well, you can't beat that as far as I'm concerned. But then when as they move forward, Monte Carlo had the Aero Coupe and the Pontiac had the Aero Coupe. But the Thunderbird, I think, was probably the better designed aero body in my thoughts. It just had that streamline effect. So I'd probably have to go with the more, let's say in the 90s, the Thunderbird. Early on it was a Superbird, but Arthur, maybe a Shelby part they stuck on it. That may be as well. Jessica, my dad spent a great many years at OCIR till it closed. He even helped with the tech. 64. Chris, for anyone who went there, I miss Carlsbad and TI in Long Beach. Only 2 tracks I got to spend time at. Insight, very low drag. Yeah, the Honda Insight. Yeah, very low drag on a Honda Insight. Clark Clifford, best aero car, 1970 Superbird. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It depends on your time period. Whenever they were doing the Aero Wars, when it had Aero Coupe and the Thunderbird and whatever, they were all trying to experiment and get them more streamlined. Whereas the Superbird, they're like, screw it. We're just going to make this wedge and put a wing on it, which the wing didn't even do anything. It was just there for looks. Kudlev, if you haven't seen it, HBO's The Lady and Dale is interesting. Yeah, I have my own opinions on Mrs. Earnhardt. We'll not go there. It's just me. Aerodynamic 70s Citroen GM or SM. Citroen SM. Yeah, those were pretty aerodynamic. Kudlev, interesting car history. Yeah. Rick Stevenson, roller motors. The lifter bores are taller. Thank you for that, Rick. Chris Sperry, do you need more glasses? Do you need glasses? No, I need a bigger screen. On my laptop, it's really hard to demonstrate this. But I have my laptop out in the garage, and the dimensions, whatever this is. So this is about the height of what I see on my screen. And actually that's about the width, right? That's what I can see on my screen. And then the little box or the stuff that I'm reading is that big. So whatever fits in that little space is what I see down in the corner. And either I read it there or I read it on the side. It wouldn't hurt. I do have reading glasses, but now I just look like a science teacher or something. Today, class. But that gives me a glare as well, so I'll just squint. One good eye. Dave, Dodge did use the Avenger body for the IROC series in about 94, 95. I saw a stock car Avenger somewhere. Yeah, I knew the Avenger was mixed in somehow because, the IROC Camaro and stuff like that. So I remember the Avenger being involved. Arthur, yes, I'm doing talk to text while I'm building a model car of the 63 Mustang 2? And my phone is stupid. 63 Mustang 2? Is that like a prototype type of thing you're talking about there? 64, he needs LASIK. Barry don't want to wear stinking glasses. Yeah. Well, I've been looking at those commercials and they say, hey, we'll do your eye for $250, whatever. But then it says people over 40 may still need to use reading glasses. Well, I'm at a point now where I just barely need reading glasses, at least in my opinion. So I don't know if it's worth it to go do the LASIK or not. Jessica, I think Mopar is only an NHRA and CO Core off-road now. But with SRT going away, who knows how long that will last. Yeah. DP, Ford Probe had great aerodynamics when it hit the scene. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that Probe was a real sleek-looking vehicle. Don Thompson, jelly bean-shaped cars, low drag. Yes. Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff people have done. The people that do the hyper mileage thing, and they'll build a taper on the back of their car, and they'll cover the wheels and take the mirrors off, and they call it. It is hyper miling as they call it, but it's really they'll shut the car off to coast downhill or different things like that. And while they say, well, by doing this, I'm getting 80 miles to the gallon. No, you're still getting whatever mileage you were getting. You're just coasting. Because if you're not actually running the engine while you're moving, then I don't see where you can count that miles to the gallon because it's not running. Right? Just my opinion. It's kind of like, here's another thing. And this is kind of way off tangent. Football. I'm only going to bring this up one time. Football. You watch football and you see these stats for these players. Quarterback threw for 350 yards. Quarterback threw for 400 yards this game. The quarterback threw for 500 yards this game. No, he didn't. If he had one shuttle pass to a receiver and the receiver ran 90 yards, then the quarterback should get credit for the 2-yard shuttle pass, not the 90 yards that the other guy put in to get it there. Just my opinion. Okay, moving on. Nick, man, I'm not doing good tonight. I knew better about the darn lift bores. Haha, that's the reason for the different base circle on conversion cams to keep the lifters down in the earlier blocks. Okay. As long as you admit your mistake, Nick. That's the first step. I'm going to lick a window. Well, make sure it's not too cold. Dave Conville Dodge ran the Magnum from 78 to 80, then the Imperial. Imperial? Really? Until 85. Wow, that's a shock. I never even knew that. Clark Clifford 1978 Dodge Magnums were run, not sure what else. Yeah, I remember the Magnums. Chris, Barry search up the 70 King Cobra and Mercury Cyclone Spoiler. 2, Bill France watched their test laps and said no more. Oh, okay. Bill France watched their test laps. Okay. So the 70 King Cobra and Mercury Cyclones. Okay. It's funny you mentioned that. We're talking about NASCAR. And we had, what was the guy's name? He died early. Got AIDS or whatever and died. But he had driven for Rick Hendrick. He's the one they based Days of Thunder on. Anyway, roughly based it on. Apparently there was a story about a challenge was made between some sort of Porsche team that raced, and they challenged. They were laughing at NASCAR and Rick Hendrick. Rick Hendrick took it personal, and so they said, "We'll take you on," but they said, we get to build whatever we want. You build whatever you want, and we'll do laps at Talladega. And this is, I don't know if this is true or not. I wish there were footage of this or some sort of proof, but I've heard this story many times. And I can't think of the guy's name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But anyway, apparently they went out there and they took the Porsche or whatever and they ran it around the track and hit a top speed of like 230 miles an hour or something, whatever it was. And so Rick Hendrick said, go. And he took out, it was an Aero Coupe, if I remember correctly. And he went out there and ran that thing and hit like 240 miles an hour or some ridiculous number. And the Porsche guys were like, all right, we're leaving. So anyway, it was just, I don't know if it's true or not. Maybe somebody can collaborate that. We'll find out. Dave, the wing on the Superbirds kept the car from experiencing yaw on super speedways. It was not for downforce and ineffective under 140. Thank you. Rick Gillen, evening, Barry, and all stopping by late for good car talk. Glad you're here. Nick, you need to hook that up to a TV, get a command center going on, Barry. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I could probably put one over here somewhere, but then I want to watch TV all the time. Chris, Dave went 207 in the Salt Flats. Okay, cool. Wayne Warrior, just borrow the TV your wife is watching in the house and project to that. Yeah. Not a bad idea. Yeah, Superbirds typo. Got you. Arthur, the 63 Mustang 2 was a prototype of Ford's Mustang before the 64.5 actually debuted. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it was like that little wedge, had a wedge nose on it and stuff. I guess I've never seen a model of that. Sounds interesting. Go back here. Got you. Back. All right. Phil, today's top 3 cars with the lowest coefficient of drag: Tesla Model 3, Prius, and Tesla Model X. Thank you for that, Phil. Rick Kane, the Ford Probe was intended to replace the Mustang, but Ford wised up in time. Thankfully. Thankfully. Don Thompson, distance traveled and fuel used. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's how they do the hypermiling, but it's like, if it's not running, I just don't count it. Nick Moss. Nick Moss. Did you know the Mustang was supposed to be called Cougar first? The more you know, do. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, was it Cougar? I thought it was another name. You might be I can tell you the Camaro was supposed to be called Panther, or that was at least the name they used. And I have a little, like a Popular Science magazine, an old from 1966, which has the Camaro prototype in it. It was called a Panther. Are you sure it was Cougar, Nick? Somebody's going to look that up. I hope it's right. Tim Richmond. Yes, exactly. Tim Richmond was the answer. Thank you, Dave. Doug, is Dynacorn Complete floor worth paying the difference than CJ floor? I don't even know what CJ's floor is. Do they have one of their own version? Because I don't know. I can't compare. I don't know. I've never looked at theirs. Steve, Footage Factory, back at home now. Man, glad you're here. You were gone a long time, man. I'm glad you're back. Nick, leave the TV in the house, though, and just start projecting to it from the garage. Yeah, she will be thrilled for sure. Yeah. Yep. Steve, if I do a viewer's project bid for you, how do you want me to deliver the video to you? I think I can still do it on Dropbox. I think so. And if not, then whatever format you can get it to me. I've had some people send it on email somehow. I don't even know what the format was they sent it, where it's available for a short period of time and I can download it. But whatever works. 64. I watched the Muscle Car Junkyard video the other night. Haven't slept well since. So much lost history. Yeah. Yep. Jessica, Torino Talladega is something I would love to build sometime. That would be cool. Brian, my Ranger gets 0 gallons per mile when it's behind my motorhome. Well, no, it doesn't. Just let it click away. Let it click away and count that. So you can say, you've driven it, you've towed it 500 miles, then you drove it for a mile, and you got, 500 miles to the gallon. Nick Moss, it was Cougar. I just double checked. I've been too wrong tonight, so I needed to check myself. I need some dignity left from this chat. Chris sent you pics. Sent you Ford's. Oh, wait a minute. Sent you pics. Ford cars to the Superbird. The owner of both was a Ford technical issue person on Cobra Jet Fitments. He said Bill France watched them go 207 and lower and said no more. Yeah. 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 I'm gonna have to. Let me get back here. I've got several emails. Oh. Crashed out Honda Insight. And let me see. Okay. I'm going to download these pictures that Chris sent me. Because, yeah, those cars were, I would say, pretty specific as far as streaming or making them, streamlining them, I should say. So I'll open these up real quick. I say real quick. I got to wait for the, the whole click, click, click satellite. Let them go through the spy feed, make sure there's nothing illegal, whatever. So I could see where that car would be aerodynamically superior. I could see that. I don't know what. I guess it has. Does it have pop-up headlights? I can't even tell. Let me see the next picture. Oh, are those covers over the headlights? I guess. I think I've seen a video on one of these cars somewhere. Like somebody actually has one. I don't remember. Yep. That would be a fast vehicle. That's for sure. Steve. Cougar was the name of my first girlfriend. Don Thompson, sorry. I kept the size at 720p and compressed H264 for YouTube. So that's answering the question on the sending the video, I guess. Let's see, Jessica, 33 grand for just a body. Good luck. Wow. That would add up quick. Dave, had to look this up. In 1986, Richmond bested an IMSA Porsche with 240 miles per hour blast versus Porsche's top speed of 227. I was really close. Thank you, Dave. I was really close. I said 230, if I thought that was right, and I said 240, I believe. Could you imagine that, though? I think it was a Talladega, wasn't it? Wasn't it Talladega? I wonder if there's any footage of that. That would be amazing to see. Amazing to see that. So Chris says removable covers. Thank you, Chris. Clark, there was a good video of a guy that did a gasoline conversion on a Tesla V8 supercharged, really compelling. Yeah, that would be awesome. Let's see. Nick, my lord, that car says kill me. Not the worst I've seen, though. No, not the worst. Not the worst. They made the Mercure, right? What was that? Mercury had the Mercure, some sort of European weird-looking car. Jesus. I guess it's. I guess hello from Mexico is kind of what we're saying. Saludos desde Mexico or Mexico. Well, I'm glad you're here, Jesus. In fact, I had I don't know if that's. I don't know who, I had a conversation recently with a gentleman from Mexico. And I wish I could, I haven't downloaded or tried these pictures. So I don't know. I'm not sure what his name is. I think it's Luis, though. Anyway, he sent me pictures on WhatsApp of a 69 fastback that he's building. And he was asking for advice, So I was trying to help him out. And he sent me several pictures. And the guy, he has a machine shop where he rebuilds centrifuges for dairy equipment, I guess is what he was saying. He buys dairy equipment, refurbishes it, and resells it. And so he told me that he showed me pictures of Mustang, and he said that he's going to remake the frame rails out of stainless steel. And I was like, what? So I wish I would have downloaded these somehow. But he sent me these pictures, and I was like, holy cow. He must have some pretty serious equipment because these things look fantastic. I mean, they look like correct frame rails that he's going to put into that Mustang. I mean, here's the front section with the under. Well, did I turn it? Wait a minute. It's going to kind of cheat. There's the front section where it goes to the core support, and I mean that's got like almost looks like the right curve almost and everything. And then he's got a jig. He's building this whole thing on a jig, and I'm like, holy cow! I told him I was jealous because he's doing looks like a fantastic job on this car. So that was an interesting conversation. That was interesting. Dave, when were your coolest junkyard I've ever seen is outside Phoenix, Arizona. Coolest car in the yard was a 57 Chevy that still had the Army badging. Just have to be careful where you step. Lots of critters. Yeah, I'm sure. Ish. Chief designer Joe Oros and his crew called it the Cougar. Nick is on point. Thank you for that. Dave, yes, Talladega, he nailed it. Let's see, 64, not a big Buick fan, but I only got part of that. Where's the rest of your conversation? Not a big Buick fan, but the stock times for the 69 GS Stage 1 and the 87 Grand National were impressive right out of the factory. Yes, especially the Grand National. That was a beast. People were shocked to find out how much power they can get out of a turbo on that thing. Chris, the only Mercury Cyclone spoiler 2, only 7 King Cobras in the first test laps were like 207, 209. Many people have videoed them. Yeah. Well, I'd like to see the Tim Richmond run. Is what I want to see. Cougar Love, until they unveiled the Mustang, the first production cars were identified within Ford as Job 1. Okay. I'll take your word for it. Let's see. Clark, it could be worse. It could be an AMC Matador. You know, if you put that nose on there, you might be able to get away with that. Chris, Jessica, I think if you found a 69 Torino, you'd be much happier. Shorter nose. Yeah, that's true. Easier to park. Yep. 64. Sorry. Oh, yeah, I read that. 1970 GSX versus Judge versus Fell. Rate in first to last. Well, 70 GSX versus a Judge. Well, the Chevelle, are you talking like an LS6? LS, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Which would be best? Dave's saying Chevelle, GSX, and Judge. Are you going by looks or actually performance? That's probably I don't know what criteria we're going with there. Brian, does anyone know of a good set of welded subframe connectors for the Mustang, Falcon, Fairlane platform? I don't have one I can point at and say this is the one you need to go with. So if anybody's used subframe connectors, let Brian know what you've used. Jessica, okay, talking about the cars. Steve, we just bought a new car last week, AMG C63 Mercedes with the bi-turbo Mercedes, 500 horsepower, fastest thing I've ever driven. Well, that must be nice. That sounds like a fun car to drive. Nick, Matador is so ugly, it's actually kind of cool. Definitely looks like it's seen some stuff with the bug eyes. Yeah, it depends on the Matador. Because there were variations where it was like the box, that came forward and they had the bump in the nose type of thing. And then the other versions were more kind of rounded off. I've mentioned before, the first car I drove was or had to drive, was assigned to me. I believe it was a 74, I think, Matador. Real chick magnet, I can tell you that. So Dave is saying, Brian made my own. You are on point with welded subframes. The Boldens don't do anywhere near as much. Yeah. Steve saying V8 bi-turbo. Okay. Chris, Jessica. Got a marriage proposal there, Jessica. Dave, I had 2 Chevelles and a GSX is quite similar, so looks, I guess. Okay. Jessica, they're all A-bodies, so parts interchange is more of looks and availability thing. That is true. Ish Matador translate to killer in Spanish. Chris 7072 Duster looked way better. Comet GT Maverick Grabber and the Vega. 7072 Duster, yeah, I would go with that. I would go with that. I still like the looks of the Vega without the the 71 Vega with the open, like the Camaro, the 70.5. You know, when they had the open grill. I really like the way those look. And Jessica saying, "Sorry, Chris, someone beat you to it," and the kind of girl that grew up around big blocks. So cool. All right. Whew, where we at? Footage Factory. Steve, Cougar translates to Sugar Mama in English. Okay. Winged Warrior, nice one, Jessica. Yep. All right. Let's see. You know, I don't want to call it too short of a night. It's been, but I may just call it early tonight. My throat's starting to get sore. You know, and I don't know how much longer I can go, but yeah, Wayne Warrior Nova no go, yeah. But anyway, I am working on some. I have another video to do on the vintage air install. That's going to almost wrap it up completely as far as that goes. There's the only thing I didn't. We did attach the sliders for the control, but the it's not mounted in the dash, obviously, because I still have to paint the dash. So let me see here. I'm going to download that picture, Arthur, real quick. Okay, let me see if I can pull this up. So Arthur sent me a picture of the model kit that he was talking about. This was the. Oh, come on, you can do it. There it is. Okay, 63 Mustang, original Ford concept car. I was thinking there was something prior to that, though. There was something else they made. I thought maybe it was some sort of wedge thing. Had more of a tapered nose to the front of it. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that model kit. That's interesting. It almost looks like, is that a two-seater? No, I don't think so. But the one I saw, the prototype thing was like a tapered nose, and it was only a two-seater car. So I thought that was the other Mustang thing. Let's see. Venturas look okay. Yeah. Dave, well, we're wrong. The Richmond Porsche Challenge was done at the Transportation Research Center in Ohio, a 7.5 mile concrete track. It was Tim's Dega prepped car. I'll send you a link. Okay. So I knew there was something tied in with Talladega. I knew there was something connected there. Not that I'm fully satisfied with my answer, but yeah, Rick says don't overextend yourself. Yeah. All right, 64.5 is checking out. Brian, thanks everyone for the info. Yep. Yeah, Tom said there was a two-seater. Yeah. Yeah, they had a prototype, two-seat prototype Mustang. Yep. Okay. Yeah, throat's getting sore. I'm going to call it a night, but it's been great, having you all here again. I enjoy doing this, and if we can, I know it's pretty much. I don't see many new people joining in, which is that's fine. It'd be nice to get some new mix in just for the question and answer stuff. But we can talk cars and memories and concepts and whatever all we want. That's fine with me. I don't care. But I want to thank you all for being here. Like I said, there will be another. The next video on that will be the continuation of the AC hookup, electrical, and stuff like that. And then I don't know what the next one's going to be. I have the hood, fenders, and all those pieces in high build primer, so I have to block sand those. And then also, just as a side thing, my other channel, J Daddy's Workshop, I have the blast cabinet video on there, and another one will be coming out tomorrow where I do just some welding on an aerator for a friend of mine. I did some upgrades to it for him. So if you're interested, go check those out. But otherwise, I'm going to call it a night and give my throat a rest. So we'll be back Thursday at 3 p.m. And I am considering, just so you know, I've had people suggest this, that I perhaps do a live stream on Patreon. I've had several people say they would be interested in participating in a live stream on Patreon. I'll see if I can figure that out. So that may happen. That may happen. But we'll find out. So anyway, Thursday at 3 p.m. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.